Damn.
Yep. Nice to meet you. You're a real horse's ass. We're going to talk about 1973's. I had 1793's. Kind of funny. It was just a joke to start out for me when I started writing my notes. 1973,
What, you
The
wrote out
Sting.
17, 1993s? You were 93 comma, 92 comma,
1793, yeah.
93 comma.
Like this was done. Yep, 1793. Only it's based in 1936. I don't know if that's ever portrayed. I guess you're just supposed to know when you're smack dab in the middle of the Depression. But
I mean, basic. I mean, yeah, it's hinted at. I mean,
Didn't feel like the Depression.
no, they were
okay.
pretty jaunty, right? Heyo.
Yeah.
So brief synopsis. It's Cool Hand Luke and the guy from Everything Is Lost. They rob
Don't
Quint.
you fucking besmirch Cool Hands, Luke. God
I'm
damn it.
not. There's no besmirchment. I'm just saying that, like, Quint was a captain and a banker and a captain of industry. Like, why these guys have to pick on him? It seems kind of bad. But they're apparently the heroes, and they get a bunch of ne'er do wells to come up with the wire. The wire. They do a pretty good job of running the wire.
Wait, why are there never duels? Why can't it be a little Robin Hood esque? You know, take from the rich, give to the poor. I mean, this guy's
But do they
capitalizing
give to the
on.
poor? I guess so. I would have to bet that Luther's widow saw some cash.
Oh,
I'd
for
like to think
sure,
so, at
for
least.
sure.
Like to think so, at least. So let me ask you this, Joe, for a movie that is very low on the NWPM scale,
The
but
fuck is the
not at zero,
NW? What the fuck is?
inwards per minute. There are
All right, all
you're
right.
not looking at zero in this movie,
No, it's definitely not
but
zero.
I mean it's low roughly, but lower than you ultimately want zero in a movie. Uh, what did you think of this movie? Give me a rating and a grading.
I mean, I saw this movie when I was younger. Um, have seen it probably a double fistful of times over my life. Like anytime I, need a good Paul Newman fix, or I really want to get my Robert Redford on, uh, you know, this is kind of my go-to. This or Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Like those are my two Newman Redford
Well,
fixes.
those are the two Newman
Yeah,
Redford. If you're
right.
going outside of them as a pair, though, where does Jeremiah Johnson stand for Redford?
I mean, it's not my favorite. No, it's not. It's quintessential for our little group. Definitely the
What about
pentultimate.
Newman?
Man, for Newman, like if I had to pick my best, you're all the way off the fucking rails. I'm supposed to be rating it and grading it. Save it for the fucking show. Jesus.
Wait, we're doing the show. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead. I just
um,
wanted an open and honest dialogue about.
no, I mean I got those picks, but let me get my rating graded out of the way first. I feeling all this pressure and shit. Yeah. It's like I walked up to
Okay,
the table and put
jeez.
$3,000 on black. Jesus.
For Christ's sakes, I mean, come
Talking
on,
about
buddy.
the NPMs and all.
Uh-huh.
Jesus Christ. Uh,
NWPM.
and there you go. There you go. Because it's has to be clarified as it being a word.
Well, I mean, if you're into like not current but semi-current rap music, you would know.
Honestly, I feel like it was handled well, especially for the culture at the time. Like when it was delivered, 90% of it was by a black man. There weren't a whole lot of white people in this film throwing the N word out. Like not a ton.
All three times.
No, it was it was Luther that said it the most.
Mm-mm.
No, I'm sorry. It's the Erie Kid Says it the first time when he's robbing them and he's in on it, and then 2 more times by
You're
white
right.
people. Yeah, I know. It's used in a very
Yeah.
hurtful, very racist way.
It was
Yep.
culturally relevant, and
Let's
it's
move
an
on.
A. I love this movie. I come back to it often. I like the actors. I like the writing. I feel like it is a time when movies expected their audience to be more intelligent and informed. There's a lot in
Mm.
this movie that they don't overtly lay out for you. Like you're expected as a viewer to pick it up, pay the fuck attention. You know,
Mm.
and
All right.
I liked a lot of that. It was refreshing for me, and it's a great movie. Robert Redford, Paul Newman, the
I mean,
other
it
fucking
won the
guy.
Academy Award for Best Picture.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
So
it got
that's saying
not
something.
only Best Picture, but I mean, it pulled down
7.
Best
7.
Picture, Best Director.
Yep.
It's been
7 total.
nominated.
The
Not
only
nominated.
nomination for Newman ever.
Really interesting. That's a cool
Yeah.
little Easter egg.
So you
Wait,
were talking about paying
wait.
attention, Russ. I hope you were paying attention because I wonder if you have a suggestion where I should cut before picking it up right on him saying it's an A. I'm thinking about 120 seconds.
I don't know, but the whole part where I'm referencing, hey, I'm not going to make any references about Polish in relation to, like, just because we're on this same show together, don't put me in the same boat as that guy.
Ooh, okay.
Exactly.
Have you seen this movie before? What did you think of it? This is the part of the show
No.
where we get less racist.
I am not, but I'd never seen this movie
Kidding.
before. We need to cut. Can we start over? Joe, you
No
fucked
way.
this all up.
What are you talking about?
All right, tonight, covered in film. No, I was very pleasantly surprised, despite the few moments of like I was like, oh, this is an old movie where racism is normal, and I was not into that, but I thought the movie was really great, and the for how old the movie is, it does. I think to what Joe is trying to kind of convey is like it doesn't just spoon feed you all the information. You're supposed to use your brain a little bit. You're supposed to be surprised at the end and be like, "Oh wow!" Like the wool is pulled over your eyes for a portion of it, and it's really great that way. It felt like this was probably the first movie that kept you guessing all the way until the end like that, and had a
It's a great little
multi
it's a
layers.
great little who done it. You know, I mean, it really is. I mean,
Yeah.
even though they've got so much of it in your face, at the end, you're still like, oh shit. I
The only thing that I was like, what? So when he's just at the end, he's like, I don't want the money. I'd just gamble it away anyways. It's like, shut the fuck up. What? This isn't one of those kinds of movies. Anyways, I would give it an A minus. It was very surprisingly good.
nice.
Thank you
Wow.
for the recommendation, Joe. Also, Robert
Hey.
Shaw is in it. And I I mean, I love him in Jaws. Love, love, love him. I know if you've watched it, click here or here, or here. We talk about it a lot. And I don't think I'd seen him in another movie other than Jaws. And it was really cool to see him in something again and see him do a good job. So, A minus.
He was excellent for that role.
Wow. Well, A minus and an A. Jeez. I had never seen this movie before as
What?
well. I know, right?
What?
Right?
Oh
At
my
least I don't
god,
remember it.
dude! I am
It felt
completely.
like the first time.
I
It was
am
just like listening to Foreigner or
absolutely,
Madonna.
dude. I'm absolutely fucking floored, dude.
Is
That's
Yep,
it?
never seen it.
insane.
Is Joe acting right
Never
now?
seen it.
Because
No,
he
I
knew
swear
that
to God.
going into
No, I
this.
did not know Ben had never
Oh.
seen this.
That was some
Yes, you
acting for
did.
me. Did I look surprised? Uh,
Wow.
had some ups, had some downs. I mean, Newman is so good in this. I forgot how much I miss watching him on film.
God, is he not a
Uh,
good fucking actor, dude? So
he's just,
charismatic.
I mean, he's just Paul Newman. Yeah, he's
So
just like, oh my God, dude, how could this guy
charismatic.
not talk his way
Yeah.
through anything?
Buy my hot
It was
sauce,
interesting.
Buy my salad dressing.
Uh, right. Interesting to catch a lot of like the subversive stuff. Um, I don't know that I would give it an A. It was really good, but some of it's aged well, some of it hasn't. Uh, Definitely, you could put the word fuck in this movie if you made it now, whereas you could not put the three utterances of the N word. So, interesting juxtaposition to show that they had out the F word, but otherwise, Anyway, I'd probably go solid B. This is it's not a bad movie. It's actually the music over the credits and all of the characters being shown with what they were gonna play. I thought that was pretty fun. That reminded me a lot of old timey movies, and I really liked George Roy Hill's attempt to make this like those old 1930s movies where he was talking about watching inspirational movies and they didn't use extras. James Cagney gets killed on the street and there is nobody else around. Like, so he tried to kind of emulate that. Although, I mean, the most unreal thing I thought about this movie was the fact that nobody really fucked up. You've got all these characters working in this bookie's office. Like, I work with 25 people. I'm pretty sure somebody's fucking up in that room to where it's causing a problem. I'm just saying. Maybe it's my current climate,
Well,
but
I mean,
that
they had the fuck up. They had the
We're gonna edit that out too.
complimentary fuck up with the guy that was in the bar that the cop knew and busted his
yeah, right.
nose.
Right. And who called in sick?
And
There were three guys who called in sick. No, that didn't happen. Wrong. Anyway, yeah, that's I really love the he what was it? He went to detective school. I haven't seen him. He went to detective school and the whole bar laughs. I thought that was a pretty good line.
Yeah. Or the guy that gets the job and he's like, hey, go over to the rack and pick out a suit. And he's got a suitcase. He says, I brought my own. Like I
He was
love the
cool.
way that they leveled up the grifters in this movie to where it's like, all right, these guys aren't just, the common thief. Like these guys are professionals. They take pride in
I
it.
would
You
disagree
know what
with
I mean?
Ben because money is a powerful motivator. And when you're working a 9 to 5 and you're getting the normal paycheck and it's not like gonna make your year or something, like whatever, you kind of fuck around. But when you've got 3 days to put this thing together and it's gonna pay all your bills for a year, you're not gonna mess up. Or maybe
Dude,
you will,
at
but it's
least for
because
a
of
year.
nerves.
At least for a year. I mean, back in the day, well, I mean, that was a big group. Like every one of those extras that was in The Wire were there for a paycheck, right? Like they weren't just doing this for shits and
Yeah.
giggles. Like I
Flat
mean,
rate.
all those motherfuckers got paid.
Flat rate.
And just how much of a
Doyle
hustle it
Lonigan.
was. Got the guy and all right, I'm gonna pay you for 2 months and you were never here. I don't even remember that I own this building. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I need a room up there. Yeah, it was pretty good. I like the whole montage where they get the inner circle by just a little nose
Yeah.
thing. I was like, this is so silly. Reminded me of, like,
you want a percentage of the take, or you want to do flat rate? Who's the mark?
that's right.
Flat rate.
That's right. Gonna get killed. My favorite was the banker. Of all the when he gets the banker's like closed. Hey, here's my shit. I quit. I'm out the door. Thought that was a pretty good sequence.
Nice, nice. What did your final grade end up being, Ben? I don't think you.
B. You got to record
B.
it so we
All
can
right.
average it out.
Yep. Yep.
Let's
Russ has
talk
got to
about
put it in
ragtime
his little
music.
thing. The Entertainer, the penultimate ragtime song.
Is that what the title music was?
Yeah, yeah. It was
Yeah.
actually that song experienced a resurgence because of
Right.
its placement in this movie, and especially a lot for the writer and performer of The Entertainer.
Right. Who kind of redid somebody's older music. But yeah, it's not Gershwin, it's Hamlish, right? Marvin
No, that's not
Hamlish.
right either. It's Joplin,
No, that's the guy who originally wrote it
Scott
back
Joplin.
in between 1900 and 1910. Yeah.
Yeah,
But then it was adapted. It wasn't
1902.
taken straight.
A-.
You're right.
That's our average.
Marvin Hamlish
You're right.
adapted the movie. He actually got a lot of acclaim for it. Which is funny because I watch it now and I'm like, it's very interesting the choices they put. You know, there's a couple of scenes that look like they're actual scenes, but they just overlay it with music. I thought it was some interesting choices to really kind of give it that old timey feel. Uh, I know George Roy Hill, the director, was read about him getting criticized a lot for not having a lot of his own flavor and his movies feeling a little stale. And I could see what he means. Like, it was cool what he did, but it wasn't really immersive to me, at least. I felt like it definitely was setting up a narrative and you're following along and it's a fun story, but it wasn't like, I don't know. I found myself thinking, dude, if this Doyle Lonigan, Robert Shaw, is such a big dude, he would see this guy coming. He would, to me, the
I don't know.
poker
I thought
game,
that
the
was
heavy
it was
leaning.
dude, it was so hilarious to me watching this and thinking back to, all right, not like thinking back just to 1973 and then beyond that to this being set in 1936. How did that cop find him on the
Oh,
streets?
just
You know
being
what I
an
mean? Like,
absolute asshole, dude.
well, I mean, no, I mean, like that dude got the info. Like, as soon as it happened, as soon as he dropped $3 grand on black at the fucking
Oh yeah,
casino,
yeah. He put everything
phones
together.
started phones stared ringing. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And this cop, probably at home asleep, and his wife, in bed with his wife, gets up and just goes and roams the streets and finds this guy. Was the world really that small
I
back
mean,
then? Without GPS and all this other tech, like, right, we're gonna go drive down on between 5th and 18th, between Q and R. He's there. I know it.
Well, weren't
right.
cities like a lot smaller back then too? So
I mean,
I mean, to a point. I thought
somewhat, but
it was
you,
funny that he talked about growing up in 5 Points. Like, I thought that was great.
yeah,
like
because he might know the priest.
the cars didn't even have windows. It
Robert
was
Redford's
just
character refers to the fact that he grew up in 5 Points in New York. So that was an
Yeah,
interesting little touchback to
came over to
our.
Joliet, home of Elwood and Jake Blues. Bum 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 bum. Hey, Blues Brothers, watch our review on it. Another movie set in Joliet, Illinois.
hey, what were you
Also,
guys doing in 1973?
mm,
1973, I was brewing in my daddy's balls.
it's a
That's
twinkle
right.
in the eye.
Yep.
It's one of the few times
Yep.
I get to say that to you.
Like, Yeah, this movie is 50 years old, which
Dude,
makes me
and
think of the
still good. Like
Molly Shannon sketch. I'm 50.
I gotta say, Ben has never seen it before. You guys, neither one were excited about watching it because he knew it was an old fucking movie.
Mm,
And like, was there a Sonya minute? Was there a Kelly minute?
Kelly actually watched it with me, was on her phone the whole time, and her few questions were, what is he doing? And why are they after him?
all right, I had the exact same experience.
Yeah, did not capture.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. That's A-grade material right there,
It's
boys.
not for everybody. It's not for everybody. The strongest. Well, I don't know. You got two women's roles in this. One of them turns out to be the assassin, and the other one's the head madam, who, you know, uh, it was really fun to
Dude,
see
just a
her
pimp.
so young.
She owned the role. Yeah, I mean, she
Yep.
owned the role. I love the pacing. Like for her to have the cop in the front room and keep the cool and go back, and the dudes are there, same fucking building,
Right. And
you
then
know,
telling him he's going to walk in
chilling,
on the chief of police.
doing the thing, and she didn't even drop like any crazy warning, and they went running out the back door. Like, if anything, she bent down and whispered to Newman. She was like, "Hey, somebody here's fucking pushing counterfeits." And Newman, the
Yep.
consummate professional, turns around and he's like, "Hey, any of you guys pushing fake bills?"
Is this movie more plausible than Inception?
Jesus fucking Christ, I hate you. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Why not? Middle of the Depression, a bunch of criminals, they'd have money, right? They've
Dude,
definitely got hooch.
he out cheated him on the card game on the train.
I did love that.
How
That
are you gonna
reminds me of,
call him?
yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, the
I
game
mean,
was
that
rigged. That's the easiest one to beat.
honestly, my hot take is that the sting in this movie was that game.
Yeah.
That was like, I feel like the execution that they did for how they got him in that card game was better than the actual final product. I mean, the final
I
product had all the majesty and the production and all that stuff, but the fucking burn on the train for the card game was fucking poetry in motion. That shit was amazing.
I did really like that. The when you find out at the end that the FBI thing was all a stage as well, though, that was pretty cool.
That's the solid
And
hook for the second sting. Like so they do
right,
they do a
They
pre
had to.
sting. Like this is
Yeah.
Ocean's 11, and it was built off this. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, this
yeah.
is,
For sure.
you know,
Yes.
all of the
No,
good
the
movies.
yeah, the FBI had to pull the cop in because the cop was legit, and they had to make sure that Lonigan never questioned the legitimacy of what happened right in front of him, so that he would never come after either one of them.
Right. And that's the
Yeah.
beauty. That was the part that I really enjoyed the most about this movie, because I'm a big Oceans fan. I like Ocean's 11. I
Ocean's
mean,
Ocean. What about Billy Ocean?
no, I mean, who
Caribbean
doesn't
Queen.
love Billy Ocean? Fucking right, absolutely.
What about Ocean's 12?
I like all the oceans. I mean, it goes, you know, the original one is the best,
Pacific,
but the other two have got, you know,
Indian,
Atlantic. I mean,
Mediterranean. No, that's a
Baltic.
sea.
I mean, you go Baltic. Oh, you're right. See, look at me, fucking elitist.
Yeah.
You know, if you type movies like Ocean's 11 into Google, first thing that comes up,
This thing.
Inception.
Yeah, it's funny. I was watching and I actually made the note, like, I want to say, oh, they don't make movies like this anymore. But they do. They make the crime capers, but I really felt like I honestly, there were a lot of parts where I'm like, it's a lot like Scott Pilgrim, where they've got the characters that are coming in and they got their little moment, and they may come back or not. The French Dispatch as well, Wes Anderson's newest one, I felt like had a little bit of the Sting vibe. Uh, Even outside of the crime capers, like what's the card one? Or the one with Woody
21.
Harrelson where he's a magician. Those are bad, but you know, those they make those too.
Now you
Resident
see
Evil.
me.
This movie reminds me
Now
a
you
lot of
see me.
Resident Evil.
Yeah, now you see me.
Are you just saying random shit?
Now I am. I
This
just see
movie
if you
Now
guys
reminds
are
you
me-
see. Now
listening.
you see me was a great callback though, because I feel like that movie almost couldn't exist without the Sting.
Right.
When Robert
Yeah.
Redford is running from the cop and he gets away, I really draw similarities to when the Millennium Falcon is getting away from the TIE fighters.
What the fuck? God
He does the
damn
old
it, dude.
It goes,
Now Russ is just saying shit.
right.
it
I
hides
really
inside
like
of a giant worm that's like the subway, you know.
the
So
vagina.
let me ask this. Let me ask a serious question. 1936. Is that like wallets are too expensive, so they carry all of their money in envelopes? Like I haven't seen as much money in an envelope as a device to keep it safe in quite a while. Do you think this is the height of the envelope wallet vogue?
As a businessman who runs a small business and has to have reasonable quantities of cash on his person at any given point in time, absolutely not. There's no way I can fit $2,000 in my wallet and fold it up and put it in my fucking pocket. It doesn't happen.
But an envelope, it's just like,
I put it in an envelope and
oh,
I freaking slide that shit in my inside pocket like a G and then walk out of the
what do
bank.
you what do you do with the little bit that's left? Do you fold it over? Do you let it crumple?
No, there is no leftover, dude. It's 2023.
You
The
spread it out.
envelopes,
Oh, you just
the
get the right
envelopes
size envelopes.
exactly match the size
Yeah.
of the bills. Yeah.
Yeah. No more
Yeah.
letters.
It even has a seam down the middle. So when I get $4,000, the envelope expands. Like the flap is always perfect, right? Like so lengthwise, it's you're solid, but depth, like thickness,
That's what she said.
exactly.
Go on.
It splits, it stretches to accommodate the girth.
All right. Robert Shaw. What else you got on Robert Shaw? I must admit, the breakfast after he gets robbed in the poker game and
Oh yeah,
he finds out
dude, he's
that
got the
Robert.
newspaper propped up.
Yeah, and he is just
that was perfect for
punishing.
me.
Yeah,
The
just punishing
newspaper.
that food.
I think
Jesus Christ.
Spoke with his mouth full the whole time. That his fucking mouth was full that entire fucking scene, dude. He's still
I
chewing
know.
as he walks out of this room, and he's like, "Yeah, fella."
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
"That's
fella.
a fuck.
Yeah.
That's a pimp.
Not
That's a pimp,
a happy guy, man. Not a happy guy.
dude." If I
What
had
it-
that limp, I wouldn't be happy either. That motherfucker had to hurt. You don't just walk like that every day, all day, and it don't hurt.
No. And so yeah, a week before tore all the ligaments in his knee on a wet racquetball court.
You're
He
fucking
was probably
you're lying ass. That's fucking not.
oh
That's
my
not
God,
fact.
look it up, dude.
You
Look it
serious?
up.
Did he serious?
No joke,
You
folks.
didn't even
We did it.
preface it. You didn't even
12 million
preface it.
jobs. I did it all.
No, I believe
Look
I'm
it
a Joe
up.
on this one. Ben, you lied to
We
us
are
so much.
better. We're getting better. It's like I'm watching the
Okay.
fucking State
Well,
of
now
the
I really
Union.
want you to look it up because I'm not lying. But
When my favorite scene with him is when he grabs the gin from Paul Newman and he says, it's you're gonna remember the name or you're gonna be playing another game. Like he brought that Quint kind of serious, like I'm gonna fuck you up if you keep Like
Dude, and even just
he
the
felt
way he
scary
grabbed
in
the
that
bottle,
moment.
he went with the overhand, right? Like he didn't even come in with the underhand. Like he went with the overhand. Like no, there's some alpha male shit right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't doubt that those guys maybe clashed a little bit, or I don't know. By all accounts, he's a wild man in real life. There's actually this really great little story about the director, George Roy Hill, going over to Ireland to see Shaw in his hometown. And Shaw basically takes him on a 2-day pub crawl where they're just
Nice.
hitting every bar.
Nice.
And he goes back. It's a cute story. He goes back to the house, and George Roy Hill just passes out.
Because in
And then
'73, a 2-day pub crawl is basically 48 hours of obnoxious public intoxication.
right. Yes, yes. And so they
it's
make
not
it
a
back to
modern
his
day pub
house.
crawl where you go get on a little pedal powered bus and
No,
you
they were at
pedal.
one point. They likely were probably literally crawling. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh, Made it back to the house. George Roy Hill passes out, gets woken up to screaming, goes downstairs, and Shaw's down there with some dude at a ping pong table, beating the shit out of this guy, screaming at him, "You're gonna play one more game." I was like, dude, living life. God, good for him.
Died
But
on the side of the
51 when he
road.
passed.
Died on the side of the road in front of his wife and son.
Crazy.
He did hurt his leg by slipping on a wet handball court.
And you know what? I just got to give him credit for freaking powering through, because without the limp, that character is not as powerful.
You're giving him credit when not. I
No,
swear to
he
God.
fucking with a busted ass knee, he shows up. I'm talking about the
I
fucking
got you. I'm just
actor,
kidding.
you dumbass.
You know,
Jesus Christ.
Ben,
Dude, the
this should
Googler
be,
can always come through.
this should
That's right.
be, like
To
a
back me up.
learning moment for you where
To tell the truth,
you
or I lie
realize,
so much that you guys won't even listen.
Yeah.
That one.
What? What'd you say, Russ? Ben said something. It was just static.
Right. Newman and Redford famously got into a knife fight during this film.
Did they?
Nope, just kidding.
No, that's total bullshit.
What else do I got in my notes here? Bingo at the church.
Best Paul Newman role. Who's got their best Paul Newman?
role. I'm really partial to him in Road to Perdition. I feel like there are two Newmans. There's young Newman and old Newman. I know he had a longer career.
Definitely is. He had a long career, and there's definitely.
And I feel like I need more. I need to watch more young Newman to really get his best role. But Road to Perdition, I really loved him as the head mobster in the little town.
That's fair. What about you, Russ?
Honestly, I was trying to figure that out before the show started, and I couldn't. I don't think I have like strong memories of Paul Newman in anything. I didn't watch Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid either.
Really?
Like Road to Perdition, I watched.
That movie
I
I've seen a
really
lot.
remember him in it. Like everything he's credited for, it's just like Color of Money. I did see that. I don't really remember it all that well.
Oh God damn, you're fucking goddamn.
There's
Luddite.
nothing on this list that I watch a lot. It's all he's just a big name. He's like one
of the biggest.
That
he's not just a big name. He's a foundation of modern Hollywood. Like, I mean, he's the quintessential leading man. Really.
I mean,
this is who all actors are measured up against.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, now we got now we got what's his name? Fucking Daniel Plainview. But
dude, but watching just the scene where he's sitting on the couch and they're doing the train car hustle, and he's sitting there and he's going over it with Robert Redford, right? He's doing the OG thing. He's like, look, I'm an old school, I'm an old hat, and he drops the FBI thing, and they start seeding the fucking story, and he's running his game, right? He's like, I'm not gonna let this little young buck let me get burnt. And they got the one scene, and he's just lean back, jacket off, friggin', suspenders going, and he's got his hat on and he's working the little cards and he looks up at the screen and he smiles and does his little dude, my pussy got wet. I mean,
It wasn't the
he
card tricks, it
just
was the look.
dude, just the look, the smile, dude just has the mojo. That being said, my favorite Paul Newman movie is hands down all day long, undisputed,
Critically.
Cool Hands Luke.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another. It's 1967. Like,
Dude, it's crazy. I came across that movie organically, just in my life. Nobody introduced it to me. Nobody showed it to me. Nobody, any of this. It was some late night fucking TV thing. I'm positive. I'm sure it was probably me, 14, 15, USA Today, USA Channel. And I remember watching it the first time and just being like, fuck, dude. And then watching it the second time. And I don't watch it on the regular, but probably every 5 years, 6 years or so, I watch Cool Hands Luke. It is a badass little flick,
I've got his
Movies,
similar to The Sting, in the sense of what
right.
the story he weaves and the narrative he tells.
Movies of this era always make me think of The Great Escape. I feel like that was my biggest movie out of the early 70s, late 60s.
Great Escape. Let's talk about the movies that were on the top of the list this year. The Exorcist, #1 highest grossing movie this year.
Yeah, it came out within a week of each other, this and The Exorcist.
Yeah, and The Sting was #2. So I mean, still
Right.
not losing. But #3, American Graffiti.
Which, yeah, just a powerhouse.
Another powerhouse.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. That Hollywood Nights.
Serpico came
Never
out this
watched it.
year. Oh, huge movie.
I mean, I know the cultural reference of it, but yeah.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
I like the sequel with Molly Shannon. Yes, Superstar. Jesus is still in it, but he
just Jesus Christ. It didn't want anything to do with that, and he just left the Superstar. Enter the Dragon.
Right.
I mean, 73, no slouch. And
Yeah.
The Sting. Oh, wait, but the one. Oh, wait, no, that didn't come out this year. That was an actor reference. Scratch it. We got
Scratch that itch. All right. Heavily edited this show.
I'm looking at this website that's got his top 20 movies that he did. 3 of them.
Still on Newman?
3 of them.
Are you on Newman? Because we talked about 73. We're talking
Jesus,
about the
dude.
year.
It's like The Sopranos. It's over.
Well, you guys can just talk about your old fucking shit.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Click the link.
The #1 movie was 1958. 1958, Cat on a Hot Roof. And only 2 movies were filmed after I was born. One of them was the year I was born. I'm just not gonna seek most of this shit out, so I don't really know. Robert Redford, on the other hand, made a lot of movies that were older and newer. What? Are you trying to correct me? I said it right. It's right in front of me.
Pretty sure it's Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
That's what I said.
No, you didn't. You missed the 10.
Well, that's because of the lag.
Fucking amateurs. Jesus Christ.
God.
Why do I show up to do this fucking show?
Wow.
Anyways,
well, if you made it this far,
Robert
tell
Redford
your friends.
Is great.
All right, let's talk about Robert. Let's talk about Robert Redford.
I listened to the rewatchables, and it seems like they've uncovered a lot of interviews where people allude that Robert Redford might be a complete prick.
Oh, I'm almost positive Robert Redford was the quintessential Hollywood asshole.
It seems to come up. Seems
You
to
guys are
come
just
up a
saying that
fair
because
amount.
you hate redheads.
No, not at
That's
all. I
fair.
actually
No, that's fair.
quite like redheads.
I can sign off on that.
So you're erroneous on both accounts. Wrong.
Erroneous.
You know, Robert Redford's best work is probably as the Secretary of State in the Avengers movies.
Oh, dude, you can't fucking. I knew you were gonna bring it up.
No,
Is
yeah,
he?
poor guy, like staying
Fucking
relevant,
hack.
but
Fucking hack.
Wasn't
ridiculous.
he in Ant-Man too? Is that him in that?
Is that the one? Yeah,
Who's
probably.
who's the dad? Is it Robert Redford in Ant-Man? Or is
No,
it
the
like
dad
No,
Kurt
isn't
that's
Russell?
Robert Redford. That's
Is it Kurt Russell?
it's fucking
no, it's
Michael
not Kurt
Douglas.
Russell. Yeah, it's
Michael Douglas.
Jesus
They're all the
Christ.
same man.
Douglas.
They're all the same guy.
They're not at all. They're
Not
not at
even
all.
close. Not
Look at
even
Ben gets
Wow.
close.
so
All right.
mad when somebody confuses like
We're
I
supposed to
know,
be
and
professionals,
it's
guys.
usually me. So thank you, Russ.
well,
Supposed to
he
be
was great.
professionals.
I
What's
liked
your?
him in All Is Lost quite a bit.
Oh, all
Did
is
you
lost. I said
really?
everything is lost. Damn. Yeah,
Yeah.
that movie was like, skip it.
No, it was
It was
fun.
worth watching once.
I mean,
It was worth watching once.
as a Robert Redford purist, it wasn't horrible. It was definitely better than Sandra Bullock's venture into,
Space?
singular actor with no dialogue
Gravity?
movie. Yeah, Gravity. Yeah, that's
Gravity was
I don't
great
even want to
too.
watch Gravity.
They were both great.
I don't
All
want to
is
watch
lost
it.
is way better than Gravity.
I watched Bird Box though, and I'll tell you what, skip that shit.
I would believe it.
Bird Box, it's like it starts out and you go, is this movie really cool? And you keep asking yourself that the whole time, and then it ends and you go, nope, it's
No,
dumb.
it was actually really shitty. Yeah. Damn, I
So
wish I would have stopped.
I've never seen it, but Robert Redford's most cited movie and one that he stars opposite I want to say it's Jane Fonda. I don't know if that's right. It's Out of Africa. Never seen it. Apparently
Oh no, it's Meryl Streep.
Meryl
That was
Streep.
one of my mom's
Yes, it
favorite
is.
movies, and that's a really great movie.
I've actually never seen it, but
Yeah.
probably hands down in all the research I did, hailed as his best movie. What is your guys' best Robert Redford movie?
All the President's Men, and that's an old movie.
It isn't.
But
Have you
Yeah,
seen it,
it's a
or are
pretty
you
great movie.
just? No, I mean it is a great movie. Have we all three
But
seen that one?
yeah, but
I've seen it.
my actual personal favorite movies that I go back and watch multiple times because I like it, not necessarily because I'd say it's the best one, but I really like Spy Games. I just like that movie and I watch it a lot.
It's a really good movie. Another one with Brad Pitt. I'm
Yeah.
almost 100% Brad Pitt is Robert Redford's son.
Yeah, that's the movie where they did the whole cloning, and they were like, "Oh, he's finally old enough to be in a movie with his clone father."
Yes. Yeah, Spy Games it's a great spy movie. Like I mean it's a well
Yeah,
done movie. I like it.
I haven't
I
watched it
think
in a long time.
I think it's well done. My personal favorite for Robert Redford is The Natural.
It's a good one.
I just love that fucking movie, dude. It just the pacing, the way it's filmed, just all of it. Like when I think Robert Redford, I think of The Natural.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, either that or Jeremiah Johnson. Now, I mean, his best role, I don't know. Read them to me so I can decide.
I mean,
What are,
I
no,
got a
just kidding.
handful.
Just kidding. Come on, don't do it. He's been in a lot of films.
Burbaker. Burbaker.
Brubaker.
That's a close runner up. Like it was in the consideration.
I think he's the dad in Charlotte's Web.
I
That's a
know
cartoon,
he's
Russ.
Doc Hudson in the Cars movie.
He is in both those
No, that's
movies.
Newman.
No, Newman's in
Oh, you're
Cars.
right. That's
That's
Newman.
Paul
My
Newman.
bad. My bad. I looked. I skipped. I blurred my lists. Damn it.
Crazy. No,
Uh,
Horse Whisperer.
yeah, no, The Natural is
Robert Redford directorial favorites. Absolutely, A River Runs Through It. Directs his son.
right. Clone, technically clone. If you want to get the whole son theory, it's but yeah, I feel like that's it's a great watch. It's a really kind of a relaxing movie, even though it deals with some heavy shit. But altogether, that movie is clunkily put together,
Oh no,
but
yeah,
done
absolutely.
like in almost the best way you can put a shitty movie and make it amazing. Like it gets by and you're like, wow, that had the potential to be so not good. But for some reason it was just like,
It was really
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Honestly, and for me personally, my favorite Redford movie, it's always going to be The Natural. Like when somebody says Robert Redford, I'm going to think The Natural. The Great Gatsby, that's a great Redford role.
and yet in the remake, DiCaprio won over Pitt.
Yeah, I mean,
How pissed off do you think that clone was?
if I didn't get my father's role in the remake, I'd be pissed.
Right?
Have you
He'd be
guys
like, this is
seen?
my purpose.
Have you guys seen him
Must
and Shia
terminate.
LaBeouf in The Company You Keep?
No.
No.
Me neither, but it's Robert Redford and Shia LaBeouf. Now I want to watch it. I want to watch everything Shia LaBeouf does. Have you seen him say just do it on a green screen?
Yeah.
Dude, I love Redford.
guy's
There's a movie
crazy.
I couldn't find it doing the pre-research, but he does one movie where he's a member of the AP press and he's overseas and there's a whole war thing breaking out and he gets killed in the scene and I can't remember the name of
That's
the
Michael Douglas, you idiot.
That's not fucking Michael.
It's called
Douglas,
Flight of the Conchords.
asshole. No, that's not. Jesus
No.
Christ.
Yeah.
Russ is pulling playbooks.
Look it up.
Pulling out of Ben's playbook.
Look it up. Look it up.
Well, subscribe.
Yep. And thank you for.
I'm pleased that you guys both enjoyed the movie. I
Yeah.
was a little,
Average rating A-.
little trepidatious about making the suggestion. It's an old movie. There were a lot of moments that didn't work, but I don't know. It was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Well, you think
It
this was an old movie?
It was
Tune in
nominated.
next time when we review Charlie Chaplin's The Kid.
Jesus Christ.